Hey, Stoney here, and this is Dev vs. Pro Tournament. If you haven't seen round 2 yet, you'll find the link in the description. Today, we're going to check out round 3, which consists of 2 games from the loser's bracket. The Devs suffered a huge blow last round, with 2 of them, Crazy Fish and Hello, being eliminated. In the winner's bracket, Dzemp defeated Measim, and Bearlike, the dark horse of this tournament, defeated Steelsane after taking a game from the legendary Nsako in round 1. The losers of this round moved on to round 3 of the loser's bracket. So in the loser's bracket, we have Doxun versus Steelsane and Nsako versus Measim. Let's jump in.
Welcome to round 3. This is the loser's quarterfinal bracket between Doxun and Steelsane. Dog versus cat. Of course, these two have met many a time, and Steelsane is coming off of the most recent win in this storied rivalry, not against Doxun, but having beaten Apuchi in the finals of week 69 of America's Advanced Group 1, so took the very first Gold America's badge. If Doxun, of course, took the double recently in week 65, won both the European and the America's tournament on the same weekend, which is a tremendous accomplishment. Of course, you can follow tournament coverage here live, or we do put tournament matches up on the YouTube channel. I'll be backfilling to make sure that 65 and 67 are on for those of you that are fans of Doxun and Apuchi. Near side, Steelsane, a giant specialist with 2 tarantulas, 3 crawlers, adds a pair of marksmen for his single target, and starts deep. Now, a lot of tarantula players just look at somebody, opponent, of course, supply specialist with storms and crawlers. A lot of people would look at that and go, oh no, I can't, Stormcaller counters Tarantula. I've got to play my Tarantulas from aggro. I'm not going to trust myself to play them from back deep. Steelsane loves to play from standard. That is his thing. His goal is to be the best standard, and he particularly prides himself on defense the way that you do, Titan. So where do you see him going from here?
Honestly, I suspect he sells the Tarantulas. I think that from standard to standard like this, they do die pretty hard to the storms, and they don't really get to do their value. What he pivots into precisely will likely be drop focused, but I could definitely see him going into a marksman carry with potentially it being a Vulcan marksman, which we know is strong right now. But I don't think the Tarantulas are long for the world.
You don't see a world where we get ranged tarantulas and just enough chaff that the storms never target them?
It's possible, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I just don't see that being Steelsane's angle long term, and I could be proven wrong. And he buys more of them, so it's going to be the opposite direction. He will commit to them.
Beautiful comedic timing or dramatic timing. I don't see a world where he commits to them. Boom! But he also took the laser sight. Both players took the laser sight. And Steelsane took the third one in part because he's looking at this, not that these ones are new, these ones were not, but partly because he's looking at that crawlers coming up the middle right at his marksman.
I think round 2 was a definite opportunity for Steelsane to either pick a direction or hold his flexibility, and I feel like he has picked his direction. And I'll be curious to see how these units fare, because he's kind of taken the first, you can't take it back kind of move.
Right. We have a golden kappa. Amazing. We have a golden
That's
kappa
awesome.
emote. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate you all. Again, without those of you that support the channel, especially as the ones that have supported me so heavily, we will put up a thank you for them in a moment. Thank you guys so much for the support that you've done for the channel. Without you, we would not be here.
What do you know? Doxun's building out his Arclight line.
Yep, Doxun has 3 arc lights. Of course, this one's new. He picked up new arc light, new crawler, and new marksman as his lineups. Tourney time, and for those of you playing that, your matches are about to start. So you can drop us. You don't have to turn us off, of course. You can leave us in the background like you're listening to matches on radio while you play your own.
There's the saber for Doxun. Although a quad fang pack is to be ignored.
I like a quad fang pack, indeed. And that is what Steelsane takes. So a lot of players would shy away from it because it's level 2. Steelsane, we talked about how he likes the deep, late-arriving fangs. We've talked about that for lots of players from Standard, Apucci in particular. But for Steelsane, these are some flank screen and late arriving. They're not going to get destroyed. He's counting on them not feeding XP and also preventing any kind of flank shenanigans, any kind of wasp call in. Even if you dropped a boat down here, this double pack can win against that boat call in. He takes a 4th tarantula, while for Doxun it is a level 3 saber, which gets the laser sights. So it's up to 115 meters, and it's on the same side as the level 2 tarantula.
He also added range on those arc lights and a little bit of chaff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, range on the arc lights for his chaff clear. So he's up to 135 meter chaff clear, where Steelsane's chaff clear is still 75 meters, except for the one on the far left that's 115. And yeah, level 3 saber beats level 2 tarantula. Who knew?
It's just so much tempo. It's just so strong. Now, if they get to dogpile on it during a tower debuff, it could still lose, but I think that's the only world. And I don't see that world happening. I think that the saber is going to win the round.
The question is, have these arc lights all farmed to level up the level 2 arc lights? Or the level 2 fangs?
I mean,
and I think they did. I think all 3 of them did.
I don't know if you want the levels on the arc lights, though, necessarily. Because they're kind of doing their job. There's nothing that they can really kill. There's another additional deployment. So strong. We are going ham on these tarantulas, but
both of them took it, yeah. So Steelsane clearly going to attack those tarantulas in a moment.
Yes, has to.
Stops and thinks about what he's going to do. Besides, the play is 2 more, so it's 7 tarantulas. And on Doxun's side, 2 more storms. He's still got a deployment left and 250, so he can afford, for example, another Sabertooth, which I would expect to see here, but it could kind of pair with this fellow. Yeah, there we go.
It'll be mirrored.
Mm-hmm.
And with this many untech tarantulas, obviously they'll be getting attacked next turn 100%. There's just too much on them, too many of them on the board not to, but I fear that trying to run this many tarantulas into what is turning into a Sabertooth board with storms as backup is going to be a losing position.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Doxun is in units that counter tarantulas. What he's not in is units that counter mines, and that is why he took the levels on the arc lights. So you were saying you didn't feel like they were necessary, but level 1 mine has 750 hit points. The level 2 arc light does 875, so it will one-shot the level 1 mines. So from my perspective, getting my arc lights up to level 2 is critical for a defense against a tarantula push. Even before I've seen the tarantulas take mines, I don't want to be caught by surprise for a round.
Right.
If they get up to level 2, then I have to have arc lights at level 4, so, or take charge shot.
Smoke. So there's a world where Doxun takes EMAG instead of smoke, anticipating the barriers for smoke. Mm-hmm.
Very nice call, man. It's expensive, but it's
But you know
Right.
they're going to be teching the tarantulas, and you know that it's going to be hard to cover them 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So this way you disable the techs that you know are coming on the leveled ones, and
Right.
any shields that he puts, because he has to shield.
He did
Will get
not shield.
cracked.
He took range and temp range off
Oh
tower
my goodness.
to cover for the smoke possibility. And for Doxun, he's going expensive right now. Electromagnetic Blast to turn off the range and slow things down. Sticky Oil to slow things down on the other side. I think that might be being very cognizant of the fact that mines might be the tech. So we're going to turn it off, we're going to slow them down, we're going to make sure we kill these things. And buy ourselves time.
Doxun has to shield with the rest of his money, right? Like, he shields at both towers to prevent the smoke.
You've got to shield the sabers, right? And that would be...
He didn't.
I would presume why Steelsane bought the Melter, to have a counter to the sabers. Toast, that is your 50th gift sub given. Thank you very much, my friend. Deeply appreciate the support. Gifting it not at random, but to Uncle Lazy, who has done so much work to make sure this runs smoothly, and allowing Stoney and Clint Leetwood, the organizers, to focus on casting on day of tournament. Really appreciate you guys both.
I can't believe neither side bubbled that.
I mean, it's round 5, it's earlier enough in the game that maybe you're still thinking economy.
But you both, I mean, well, certainly from Doxun's perspective, if he spent so much money on actives,
and then
that
didn't
really surprised
shield
me.
against them himself, yes.
And the smoke is the most powerful of all of the actives that got used unshielded, because
Right.
it's a 2-round range debuff and a range ward against your carry units.
Right.
Wow. There's a Doxun Farseer angle, potentially.
Definitely not Typhoon for either player. Fort with Launcher Overload can actually be very strong against mines. Really strong against mines.
Yeah, but they've already. But the transfer player already has Melter.
Steelsane took the Scorpion. Yeah, they've already. Doxun takes the Farseer. Those are also strong against mines, in particular because of the guided missile. This is a guided missile that does, well, at level 3, it's going to do 3,800 damage per shot, and he's ranged it to have 165 meter range. Here come the mines. And with these all up
Here
to
come
level
4
2,
Farseers.
two more Farseekers is going to help a lot. These will do 1,200 damage. These mines are going to have 1,500 hit points, so they would survive one missile, but not both missiles together. And of course, they would also survive this this Arclight's shot until the Arclight gets up to level 4. This guy getting to level 3 would help. Yeah, I'm afraid it is not Scorp Siege here. The Scorpion was taken to sell.
Yes. Basically, that Scorpion was turned into a Spider Mines.
Yep. Steelsane has also quietly gotten up to a pair of level 2 marksmen with no tech.
Right. A lot of chaff on Doxun's board. Those Farseers are doing good work against those mines.
They really did. That was a great call in terms of turning off the mines, using the Farseer instead of the Arclights.
Arclight. And with range, those Farseers are still able to connect, although Tarantulas are shockingly tanky.
They are very tanky.
I really wish
Level
wish they were running the heal tech.
Yeah, a level 3 Tarantula is basically giant level hit points.
That said, the next tech for these Farseers being EMP would absolutely be amazing here.
Right.
Turning off the range on everything they're shooting.
And turning off the mines, in this case, like at the end of the round, where they got locked onto a Tarantula and then died to the mines because they hadn't turned off the technologies.
Right. Another smoke or an ion.
Both players
Both
taking
go with
the
Ion.
Ion. It's so strong.
Yes.
And
And both players in a very line formation.
yes, both players are in a very Ionable formation for sure.
More Farseer. Here come the bubbles. The smoke is gone, which is a big deal.
Alright, I am putting Alpha right back where he started in terms of sound. Boom QC, sub with Prime. Thank you very much, we really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Alright, shield bubbles up, and Doxun so unlucky.
No.
Shields 3, but not the one spot the Ion is coming down. On the other hand,
Well, the
he's-
one spot that makes the most sense, too, that's the spot that had the most of the Farseers last round. To me, that's the first place you bubble. Even if I don't see the line from the other person.
yeah, he thought the place was going to be the level 3 Farseer.
That Ion Beam is maybe game-winning.
That's backbreaking indeed. And for Steelsane, didn't use speed, but did get most of the units that Doxun was aiming for out of the Ion Beam. And I think that is just backbreaking. Doxun only at 1,200 hit points. Needs to get a lot of kills in the closing stages of this round in order to survive it. Doesn't have EMP on the
that tower
Farseers.
timing is gonna tip it.
And yeah, there's just too much hit point on the board. Dog KO'd by Cat. Epic Mouse Gaming, congrats. Wins your first game in a tournament, very nice. Steelsane over Doxun. The dog is eliminated. Steelsane going to be through to the next round. And 7 rounds here. Steelsane, of course, playing at the top of his game right now. Took home the America's Weekend Championship this week. So, very nice. Rip dog, fun to watch indeed. The Doxun, and Doxun, for those of you that don't know him, very, very sweet guy. Says bang, rolls over and plays dead. Indeed. But he's really, really sweet. Really happy to sit down and talk about the game in theory, the science behind the game with people. Is in the guild. If you're a member of the guild, you can find him there under Doggo Scientist. All right. Board state. It's Steelsane just committed into the tarantulas rather than getting scared out of them by the existence of the storms. Took
It was a round 2 defining decision to just commit hard into them.
I would imagine this is something that he has played out numerous times as well. So he has a line that he's going to get to, and figures I'm going to take them as ranged. They're a little bit better than an unranged arc light from the same position. They're a lot tankier. I'm going to take the spider mines and count on the spider mines being additional chaff, and the rest of the board. There's not much, right? There's just two marksmen to keep Doxun honest about Phoenix. 2 melters, which were handling the big units on the dog's side. They chewed through the high-level Sabertooth over here. And Doxun says, I got really nervous when I saw him get all those spiders. Indeed, I thought the pivot to Farseer instead of Arclight for defending against the mines was really good, honestly.
It's really interesting because I know, Doxun, you love to play tarantulas. And I thought that it was very interesting because I would have anticipated slightly different lines on the response there. I was curious. I guess you see Tarantula as really strong. Does that get in your head when you see your opponent playing a unit that you think is really strong?
Yeah, I called out EMP on the Farseers as the thing I wanted to see for round 7, for sure. But with the Ion and all the shields, it changed.
It got
changed
4
things.
Farseers in all your storms.
Yeah, it being on the one side that wasn't shielded, especially, right? Turns out that
that was so painful.
Yeah, we would have been better with EMP and no shields, I guess. But spiders aren't scary until they have a lot of them. Then it's a problem. Exactly, guys. That's precisely right. Right, I can handle one spider in the house. It's seeing 20 of them at once. It's just a creep factor, right?
Especially
You're like,
when they're
I'm
making
done.
babies.
Ooh, we do see a giant specialist there. I'm wondering if we're going to see the Sabertooth on Sacco's side, or if he's going to go for the aggro pick of the Crawler Steel Ball.
All out aggro so far today. I can see him taking the Marksman Specialist there just for the aggro start. Very high HP pools, though, for this set of cards.
It is a Marksman Specialist. Here we go.
He's playing Comfort. Aggro, aggro, aggro.
And I would imagine also the same side for the Comfort as well. Sometimes I do like to switch sides, just as a streamer. Oh, he is switching sides. As a, just because you feel like somebody's going to anticipate if you're going to do strong... Because I don't really play aggro, but I do play asymmetric. So, I try to swap sides, which one it's going to be.
Bounce left or right, strong side, weak side. Do you roll a dice? Do you flip a coin? Or is it just what you feel like on the day?
Oh, it's just going with the gut, whatever I'm feeling.
Okay.
Again, my secret is I don't know what I'm doing, so they can't either.
I thought that was a Marine saying. Right. He's gone back to the left side again, though. I thought he was bouncing to the right this time.
It didn't feel right for him. He's got to go back to Comfort.
Fair enough. He's taken an Arclight this time. He didn't start with Arclights last time. He's recognized the weakness of lacking in Chaffclaw. But he's matching up straight into the Stormcallers. The Stormcaller's going to shoot at the Crawlers and then hit the Arclight behind them.
That Arclight is not going to live long. Yeah, long time playing Arclights here, and I've learned that Arclight definitely needs to be spaced out further away. Now it's just going to get targeted in the first place. I'm not a big fan of the close positioning that Measim has there. If any sort of missile deploy or any cooldown there, you get punished by it. But, as you were saying, if he's planning on War Factory, he might have board space at a premium. He might be thinking ahead that he needs the room.
This is a pure standard opener for Measim. Super defensive. He'll be sitting back, holding the tower. We'll be expecting Fangs next round from him.
There goes the Arclight.
Instantly. Gonna worm his way through to the tower, though. I think here, Sacco.
Only just, and only because it's a steel ball that can do it. Anything else would have just been punished.
I think he's going to scratch a win on this first round, but he's going to struggle going forwards. We'll see, though. He's been very successful with his flanking plays so far. I'm half hoping we don't see Fire Badgers again, because I'd like to see a little bit of variety.
Well, we'll see if round 2 gives us an early unit deploy. Here comes the Marksman.
Orange man on site.
Are we going to see the Wasp Swarm for the aggro, or are we going to see a Nano Repair Kit going on to the Steel Ball?
Almost certain Measim will take the Nano Repair Kit as a giant specialist.
Mass-produced Melter for Measim.
Oh, okay. Different. Okay.
Measim did pick Giant Spec, so this is pairing with Giant Spec very nicely.
It is, but the Nano Repair Kit's so good on Giant Spec as well. Okay.
Well, he's made his choice. I do believe we're going to see nothing but Melters from here on out.
Brave. A third set of Stormcallers as well. He's calling Sacco's bluff, because we haven't seen a Sacco take any anti-missile as yet this tournament. He's just brute force, get straight in the face.
Sacco's still deciding. He went with the Nano Repair Kit. I'm going to guess it's going to go on a Steel Ball.
A cheeky missile.
There's the cheeky missile. He's got the Crawler way up front in order to keep a range for those artillery to continue doing their thing.
I think Measim and Bearlight might be talking to each other, because that's what beat Sacco in the first round. Cheeky missiles every round.
That Marksman, just worth noting, has the ability to go Assault mode and is placed very aggressively. You might even see the Nano Repair Kit on the Marksman once he clicks Assault next turn.
I like it. The Contain Arclight in the corner. Really pressuring this front row. Here we go. Arclight's living longer this round. Hopefully they'll get a few kills. Is your OBS behaving?
It is. It's just I've got chat over there giving distracting. Blue Feral handing out subs like it's candy. Thank you so much.
Good on you. Nice. Steel balls pressuring straight onto the tower there. Almost unstoppable to begin with, even with the cheeky missile play.
And we did see the nano repair on the steel ball, the one that leveled. Measim wasting no time for his sticky oil, wanting to get some distance with those steel ball.
And we have a Vulcan with oil.
Vulcan with oil. Mobile Beacon, is he going to anticipate the oil play and Mobile Beacon around it?
Yes, he is. Good read.
The nano repair kit on the level 2 steel ball might be able to just continue to muscle through even in the fire that the Vulcan's going to have there in front of him, while the other one goes for the tower.
So I don't think we're going to see Assault Marksman, I'll be honest. Because he would have held onto that regen module to put it on the Assault Marksman who's going Assault Marksman. If you're facing Vulcan with your steel balls, do you go armor first or range first?
I almost never find myself with steel balls, so it's hard to say. I think in general I would lean towards armor because that's what in theory should work against Vulcan. However, in the meta, it almost doesn't. It almost just doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's all lifesteal and range these days, isn't it?
Yes, so I would probably pick armor and get punished for it.
I respect your standards. I'm a big armor fan.
Alright, well the oil made a big difference on the rest of the chaff, but the healing steel ball just muscled through it as we wondered. However, the mobile beacon was thwarted, and he defended that side, so it's not going to be as major of a round as we had thought.
He still wins it though, his regen steel balls. Just unkillable. When do we reckon we'll see our first melting point?
It's round 4. I'm going to say right now.
He needs something to kill the steel balls. Ooh, Scorpion's offered.
Oh, Scorpion is a very quick pick for Measim.
Yes.
Sacco might be pivoting away to something else. We might see air now that we've got both Scorpions offered along with the Storms and Vulcans already on the board. So we might be seeing Wasp or Phoenix happening.
Yeah, I'd be very tempted by the Wasp and the Phoenixes here. I think he'll make the read and go Phoenix. He'll be expecting the Scorpion pickup by Measim.
We've got Wasp.
We have Wasp. Okay. Shows what I know.
I think it's just as
the best in the world.
Yeah, but I do think it's just it's such a good pairing with the steel ball. Wasps tend to be because they help with the chaff clear as well.
Yep. Second oil. But do they know about second launch? The classic Sacco corner flank with the arc lights and the crawlers. This is rough.
Oh, and actually this is a major read on Sacco's part. He knows that the Scorpions are very likely to be picked. He's already sold out of one steel ball, and he has bought not only the units of the Wasp, but he bought 2 more Wasps. It's a total shift. I would not be surprised if that steel ball gets sold next as well, the higher level one.
I'm not sure. I think he wants a unit to carry the regen module, and he's got no other option for the regen module at the moment. But look at how fast they're dying, even with the regen.
Unfortunately, my stream is apparently lagging here. This is not the viewer on this is not on your end. This is on my end entirely.
Is it video or audio that's lagging?
Video, but it looks to be catching up now.
Okay. So we have just watched Measim try and hold the line, but Sacco's burnt through it with 1,000,001 Wasps.
Those Wasps were too much for Measim and too much for my PC.
We have an instant pick redeploy for Sacco and a missile drop from Measim.
So those steel ball do not need to be sold. They can now be a menace on the opposite side, going for a tower kill.
Yep.
And the missile going for the Wasps there. I suspect that will successfully kill those wasps. I don't see him buying energy shield right away. I think instead he's picking up ground spec for his next tech.
Wraiths with degen and then anti-air Mustangs. Great reads from both players, but I much prefer the Mustang pickup here over the Wraith pickup.
I agree. I think Wraith would have needed to be level 2 to really stand any chance against the counterplay.
And Sacco does not run armor on the Wraiths either, so he cannot make them immune to the Mustangs.
He does have heal, but that heal is more expensive now that degen's been clicked.
Yep. We have Scorching Flames on the Vulcans, but there's nothing really for them to hit anymore apart from just basic chaff. He needs more anti-air. He's got 3 sets of Mustangs.
Where's the mass melters?
Yeah. Well,
I'm
promised mass-produced melters.
I'm looking at this, and because of those Mustangs and everything, I'm feeling that pretty much everything except for the steel ball is in trouble. I think that the entire board is just gonna suffer here.
The anti-air on the Mustangs doing so much work. They still get through to the tower with the wasp on the right-hand side. I'll be honest, if I'm Measim here, I'm probably selling one of those 2 Vulcans, because I think 2 Vulcans is overkill for how few ground units there are.
Yeah, combined with either that or the Scorpion. But
Yeah,
I think the
true.
Scorpions stick around just because the steel ball are a menace.
I think Scorching Flame Vulcan can still do just as good a job of clearing the steel balls there.
Especially if they leveled. The Vulcans did, in fact, one did level. So perhaps sell the Scorpion, keep the Vulcan around. Because that means that he still has the chaff clear. There is plenty of chaff to be clearing.
Yeah, needs to cover the weak side now as well.
Sabretooth for Sacco.
I'd be very tempted by the Marksman
With the
versus
sail.
Wraiths.
Yeah, I too would probably be almost an instant click either on the Marksman or the Fort. But since Measim is Giant Spec, I would lean towards Marksman and then get my own Fort.
Yeah, because the Forts are free unlock for you as Giant Specialist. Maybe he's tempted by the Fangs, but I would not pick Fang into range Wasp and Wraith.
Oh, and now we have Sacco with the Worm Wasp combo. This is something of a wombo combo. The Wasps are clearly endangered by the anti-air Mustang, but those Mustangs will have their range cut in half by the Sandstorm from the Worm, making the Wasps and the level 1 Mustangs on equal footing.
And Meason's grabbed those Fangs. 4 sets of level 3 Fangs.
That might be the spoiler here in the air battle. If he puts range on those Fangs, those actually will do significant damage, even with the Sandstorm lowering their range.
I am worried for Meason's safety here. These worms are going to be hard to stop. Degen Beam plus Sandstorm. Such a combo.
Since Sacco has yet to pick ground spec, I do think Measim has a good chance this round. There's not a ton of damage on Sacco's board.
You say that, but I see 4 sets of level 2 Wasps, and I think that is pain.
Well, it is, but it doesn't have the ground spec buff there, and we've got a lot of Fangs, which did not get range, so they might not actually make contact at all.
Here we go, Sandstorm hitting the Giants. Vulcan's range dropping like a stone to 47 meters.
Tower's about to go down. So Sacco has said, I don't need no ground spec, I've got Worm Wasp.
It's making it work. That Sandstorm. So powerful. How do you protect against it? Because Photon doesn't work. You take to the skies yourself? I think it's too late to do that.
Usually you either take to the skies or you do some sort of way to keep them above ground so they don't get to respawn. This usually means shielded Fangs.
A line of shielded Fangs right in front of them.
Yeah, just a conga line of shielded Fangs right in front of them, keep them above ground, or you could do just some more crawlers or things. I do feel like the Fangs do better because the Sandworm's attacks are relatively slow, and with shield you can keep them busy.
He's dropped the underground threat to summon some crawlers right in front of one of the worms. It's right next to a Wraith, so I don't think it'll do an awful lot. And there's the ground specialization on those wasps you were talking about last round. Those wasps are going to be hitting like trucks
now there's definitely some punch happening. However, we do also have acid attack added in. This could mean that the Sandworms, if they do get hung up anywhere, are going to be sitting in acid taking a massive amount of damage.
and it is now impossible to give worms photon apart from through items, because they burrow underground so fast, it's very hard to make them acid resistant.
Everything's going to depend on whether or not those worms stay above ground in order to be taking damage from acid and not spawning the sandstorm more than the first initial contact.
Measim has 2 turns of oil in a row coming up here. Will this buy him time to get stabilized? But 1 lost round and he's out. And this is his do or die game. He loses this game, he's out of the tournament. The giants huddled up by the towers. Towers have been leveled.
We finally saw the melter. No tech, no range, there's no money for it.
It is the smallest, saddest melter I've ever seen. I'll be honest.
He's got big hopes, big dreams. Alright, we've got the right
worm?
side worm being distracted
Can he kill a
by
wraith?
ground there. Melter on another
Locked
worm.
on?
All
It's
3
locked
worms.
on. Oh,
The right side worm burrowed, but the center one is down.
the smallest, saddest melting point. Still gets a worm kill.
Takes out a degen beam,
Oh, but there's a worm on a tower.
and tower's about to drop.
Oh no. That's pain.
Now Mason's doing the mental math. Does he have enough life left for another round?
It's close. It's close. Yes, lives on
By
38.
38!
Oh,
And a dream.
still in it to win it.
Now that the melters have entered the field, though, there could be an opportunity to turn things around.
Snap pick bombard. He's got to do it. He needs the tempo. Kills those wasps so handily. Do you take a shield on your wasp here?
I would consider it. I would consider shield on the wasp. There's so many cooldowns. You already have the regular missile is back up, even if the orbital bombardment is not picked, which is almost certainly going to be. So
Yes.
I would look at that. That's his primary damage. His number 1, number 2, number 3 damage were all wasps.
We have a second source of acid with the acid crawlers now right in front of the worms, making their life difficult.
We do see some more melters. Here comes the mass-produced melter that just never developed.
I can see Measim winning this, I'll be honest. This looks solid. He's got so many giants now. And the bombard is so much tempo. We've got an ion cannon, crushing through
ion-
the left side.
That ion could
Shields
be
going up.
decisive, but the shields might hold on long enough.
Ooh. I think we're going to lose 3 sets of wasps instantly as soon as the round starts. There's only 1 set of wasps to do so much work.
Yeah, he did not pick the shield on the wasp. He does have the spread on the crawler, though.
I
That
don't
could
think it's
change the
enough.
layout, too.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry. There's Vulcans on both towers. I think Saka's at risk here. Does he know it?
Now it's
Here we
all about
go.
the RNG of the bombard. Full... Oh!
Oof.
Oh, no!
Perfect shot with the second missile.
As you suspected, only the one of the original wasp groups is still standing after all that. He bought a couple more level 1s. Their damage being negligible. So many giants still on the field.
Anti-swarm of giants. The smallest, saddest melting point proves me wrong yet again. Claiming another scalp. Ugh. And that is it.
Never picked
Look at
any
the
tech.
damage.
Never any tech on the melters. 38 life. Measim. And his
Last
dream
set.
coming true.
Wow. That was a big swing. I think the bombard was the key there, though. Took out 3 sets of wasps.
Absolutely. All of the cooldowns converging on that one turn. We had oil, we had the regular missile, we had the bombard, all of which very effectively turned the tide.
That was so close. 38 HP. And then he wins the next 2 rounds. Oh.
Incredible. What this does mean, though, Sako, who was on his Cinderella story, has been eliminated with his double losses.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.